for someone to have an extremely long piss. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Bath Comedy Club at Widcombe Social Club. Keep that applause going. Without further ado, give it up for your first act of the night, Mr. Mark Maier!
Thank you. What a bizarre bit of music to choose. Thank you very much. I feel like I should be not some bloke in a jacket, but Lemmy, sort of, or just sort of angry mental music, and then hello, good evening, nice to be here. Thank you for that. Could we do the whole thing again, but just a bit of Chopin? I think would be more appropriate for the occasion here at the Social Club. Are you renaming it the Widcombe Socially Distanced Club? Is that the new rule? New ruling. Thank you for having me here. Thank you. A round of applause, please, for Nick and his crew for putting on this comedy extravaganza. And I cannot help but be drawn to one of your sponsors here, the Love Honey, the sexual happiness people. What a lovely backdrop that is for any comedy venue. Because I believe this is being live streamed and my parents are watching, so that's two of the regular owners of the many Love Honey products. Mum and Dad, as they're sitting at home, they're going, "What shall we try tonight?" My dad doesn't talk like that, he doesn't have one of these toys either. That really. You see. I feel, Matt. Are you a member of the Love Honey community? Are you love honeyed up? What's your particular penchant? Come on, you can share with the group. Pardon me? That would be telling. Yes, that's the point of a question. You're asking a question. By answering, that would be telling. Yes. There goes the nature of asking a question. Are you love honeyed up, or are you just? It's the way you're sort of shifting in your seat. I thought maybe you're testing a product as we speak. Well, I had the option of trying the vaccine or a Love Honey product, and I thought, well, I'll go for the product, the Love Honey product. Of course, also sponsored by Perfection. It's a rich... I'm already bored. I prefer Love Honey, to be honest. They both came to Nick saying, we'd like to sponsor the comedy, and we went, well, let's put Love Honey right up here in the middle, and just Perfection. We'll just put that slightly in the distance, because nobody really cares. But we do care. Who would you ever introduce yourself? Hello, I'm a sexily happy person. I'm not. I'm married. So. Oh, that old cliche. There we go. Bitter, angry applause from the fellow long sufferers. I'm being facetious. I'm being unfair. I've been married now for 15 years. My wife does call me her best friend. I know, it's sweet, isn't it? It's sweet until you realise the reasons why she calls me her best friend. It's because if I suggest having sex, She says, no, it'll ruin the friendship. So no Christmas love honey for her, madam. That gift's going straight back via Amazon. So yes, lovely. And you've had your curry. Good. Was it substantial? Was it fuck's sake?
It was a substantial meal. I'd like to have a drink. Well, you must have a substantial meal.
Can I just have an adequate? No, it must be substantial. Who the fuck talks like this?
Substantial. I had quite a substantial meal. All right.
Was it tasty? I don't know. All I know was it was substantial. Therefore, I could drink myself into a stupor. Now, you probably can't tell, but I am from the northeast. I'm from Newcastle. And I say that because by way of going Newcastle as opposed to Newcastle. You go, maybe... Because the truth is, you can only do a Geordie accent if you are from Newcastle, otherwise it comes... People attempt it. I live in London, people have a go at the Geordie accent. It comes across as Welsh Pakistani, if I'm perfectly honest.
I can do the Geordie accent, Mark.
I know you can't. I can do... Man, have you other lads? That's not Newcastle, is it? That's more New Delhi, I think you'll find. Cue slightly awkward, uncomfortable laughter, but... So my point is, Newcastle, you would... I would go to the match of a Saturday afternoon in St James's Park. We'd have rough as fuck Geordies leaving the crowd. Never once would you hear, "Hey, dear, shall we go down the big market and get plastered? Oh, fucking get the paints do this. Aye. But I think before we do that, I'll quite fancy having a substantial meal." What are you talking about? You know, just like a substantial meal to soak up the alcohol I'm intending on imbibing. You're a bit weird. Oh, it's just a parlance I'm now acquainted with. It's fucking a substantial meal. Stop it, people. And wear your masks properly as well. Can I make that request? You know who you are. The casual. I've seen a lot in London. The mask on the chin. Yes, it's a little known fact that the coronavirus starts at the chin and then moves its... Well, that's the best you need to protect first. I found myself off to Waitrose the other day. Oh, yes, very middle class. Off to Waitrose I was, halfway to Waitrose, and I realised I'd forgotten my mask. Have you had that situation going? And then you go, I've forgotten the mask. And you get to Waitrose, oh, fuck it. Jumper up, the old jumper technique. Fuck you, coronavirus. I got me jumper over me face. No COVID's getting through here. Jumper over the face. Some people the scarf. I've seen some ladies doing this business, like some Victorian horror film. Take me to the cheese section. I was in Lidl, some old guy in Lidl, he'd forgotten everything, he just thought, fuck it, and pulled his underpants up over his face. Where's the spam? But let's not make light of a very serious topic. I think we talk about... You know, when you realise when there's been enough chat about the coronavirus, when you sort of miss people talking about fucking Brexit, that's when you realise... Look at how Brexit nonsense days. Yeah, no. There have been a lot of losses, obviously. My Uncle Joe, due to corona, my Uncle Joe, a few months back, he lost his non-refundable deposit on 2 flights to Miami. So it's a bitter blow. So thank you for being here, genuinely. Otherwise the gig would be a little bit odd. Wouldn't quite work. I say that, I'm not being facetious. I've done a couple of sort of post-lockdown shows in London and the audience aren't like yourselves. I was here a few years ago and there's always a buoyant, nice, lovely... I like the buzzy atmosphere that we have in here. London's not like this. London, the London audience is a bit like that feeling you have when you're lying in bed in the middle of the night and you need a wee. You know that feeling? That sums up the London demographic. Not laughing like yourself. It's all the miserable, that sort of... I'm not getting up. I'm not. I went for a pre-bed wee. I'm not going for a secondary wee. I'd rather lie in bed in crippled pain all evening. I may rupture something. Fuck it, I'm not getting up. That dogged, negative London attitude. Fine, you do go to the toilet, but you don't want to let your bladder know that it's one, so you go with your eyes closed. I'm technically still asleep. I am not weeing on the seat. I am not weeing on the seat. That's the way of the Londoner. Fraught, suspicious, doubting, questioning. Your London comedy audiences aren't like this. You know, I run a show in London once a month, and it's a delightful thing to do and to be involved with. And we have I don't know if this is probably the same thing here. You've got the mailing list, and there's always somebody. Every month, I guarantee, I get everybody to write and to send in their emails with, and every month I'll get somebody going. Could you please remove me from your comedy email list? I'm receiving emails that are going to put me in a better frame of mind and enjoy life a bit. And I don't want that. I live in London. I want to be potentially... Please, this guy, let's call him John Wilson, because that was his name. John Wilson, a few months back, dear comedy promoter, which already fucking annoyed me. Dear comedy promoter, could you please remove me with immediate effect from your email list? So I removed him from the email list, and I emailed him saying, I've now removed you from the comedy email list, and I didn't get any response, which pissed me off. You know, it's the equivalent of, you know when you're driving down a road that's too narrow for two cars and you pull over and the person pulls past you and doesn't acknowledge or thank you in any way? Just, it really, I know it's petty, but it bothers. I beat the car horn, what the fuck's up? I just pulled over for you, and you realise mid-rant they didn't know what the fuck you're doing. They're just driving. I pulled over. You were coming, and I didn't have to, but I. And he's looking at you, going, "Is it a book? Is it a film?" Dear Mr. Wilson, I removed you from the comment. I heard nothing back, so I left it a couple of days, and I sent him another email saying, you have not responded to the fact that I've removed you from the comedy email list. Could you please with immediate effect? Nothing. So I sent him another email, about a month later, going, you are now on the I've removed you from the comedy email list. And so it went on. Paranoid, suspicious, doubting, that's the person I've become. A fella says to me recently, I'm minding my own business, excuse me, have you got the right time? And it bothered me. It bothered me that he had to specify the right time. Why couldn't he just say, have you got the time, and be done with it? Have you got the right time? What did he think was going to happen if he said, have you got the time? I was going, fuck it, midnight? It's still light out. Oh, you want the right time? Who in anyone's experience here has ever felt the need to lie about the time? Unless you work for the rail network, nobody lies about the time. You're too busy wandering up and down that carriageway and staring at those signs. This plug socket for laptop and mobile phone use only. Because there's me with my iron and ironing board. And there's got to be somewhere for me. Bollocks, I'm taking my chances. Yes, God, I'm breaking the law, but there's a fella in Coach J and he's blending a smoothie. Yes, he is. It's the quiet carriage. No parking. I saw this the other day. Pissed me off because we're spending a lot of time wandering around the neighbourhood looking at stuff that can irritate you. Can you put any more fucking Christmas lights up? No, I don't think you're killing me. Notice me. All right, it was a church. No parking, driveway in constant use. This fucking self-important twat decided. No parking. It's a house. It's a house, sir. No parking, driveway in constant use. What are you? A hospital? What are you talking about? What sort of an attitude? Driveway in constant use, that's right. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, I'm using my driveway constantly. It's not technically possible to be constantly using your driveway. Unless the bloke that owns the driveway is claustrophobic and agoraphobic. I can't stay in, I can't go out. I can't stay in, I can't go out. I can't stay in, I can't go out. Never clap on your own, madam. It looks like you're in SeaWorld. I appreciate the support.
I was clapping.
Pardon?
I was clapping, she wasn't.
All right. Sexist. Doesn't really make sense, but let's move on. Love Honey. What a horrible name. It's just pick something more. So, I'm sorry, I'm dissing the sponsors of this. In keeping with shouldn't the stage be a little bit sticky? I'd like to say thank you to the sponsors. Love Honey. Oh yes, I was in the theatre. Speaking of love and honey, what was I going to say? Oh yes, married, got 3 kids. I've got 3 kids, 3 kids, 1 of each, which is quite nice.
Oh yes, it's very 2020.
A boy, a girl, and they, which is. I like that laugh. Yeah. Yes, Mr. Bond. The third one's called they. Jake is my eldest, 16 years old. Everything is an accident. It was an accident. Football through the TV room window. It was an accident. I said, no, Jake. You were in goal. I was taking a penalty. Lack of concentration. That's what that was. Swore at me. I said, if you swear at your dad one more time, there's going to be no screen time till the end of this week. Yeah. And he said, well, roll on Monday, fuckface. Nice, isn't it? Not what you want, Miss Love Sexy. No, you don't. Honey, Love Honey. Yeah, nothing to do with Prince. Ella's my youngest, bless her. You're not supposed to have a favourite, but... She came back from school, no word of a lie, this a little while back, with a certificate for good sitting. Have you ever heard of such middle-class bullshit in all your life? Good sitting! Good sitting! It begs the question, what the fuck was she doing before she got the certificate? Just collapsing on some sort of Buddha thing going on. I don't know what's good. She's a sensitive, sweet, insecure child, and giving her a certificate like this is giving her some sort of ray of hope that she doesn't need. She's going to spend her entire life wandering around with a certificate, clutching the certificate of good sitting. Good sitting. She'll be at her first job interview. Well, nice to meet you, Ella. If you could take a seat, which I do rather well. They fight, they argue, they row my children, as do all children. If you've got kids, here's a little tip. You try to sort out who's responsible for the fight. They never own up to it. So do what I do. Install VAR. Video assistant refereeing. It's wonderful. I don't install it at my house. At the next door neighbours, Pat and Jack, they're an elderly couple. They're not ever going to leave the house again. So they're quite happy to watch the screen. I'm making dinner. He hit me. She started it. He poked me. He hurt me. She hit me. On and on. Hold on a minute. Hold on. Kids, shush. Pat, Jack, can we run the VT, please? I'm watching the screen. There's Jake with an elbow in the face. It's an elbow in the face. And I'll take his phone off him. Which is the biggest punishment any child can have, isn't it? Removing their phone from him. And I don't understand this. Thank you for not being on your devices this evening. At the end of the day, I am up in the bathroom on the phone. Wife's hammering on the door and I'm on the phone. I'm multitasking because I'm peeing and Googling at the same time. Very talented. What I'm doing is, she says, what are you doing? It's very important. So what I'm doing, Jane, what I'm doing is I'm looking at the weather of the holiday destination we were planning on going to before the fucking, because we need to find stuff to upset ourselves, don't we? This is what the weather would have been like had fucking COVID not kicked in. It's wonderful. The number of London people went, well, we can't leave the UK, so what we're going to do, and I'm sure we'll be very welcomed, we're going to go to Cornwall. En masse, turning up in Cornwall with their COVID fucking... Yeah. The Cornish people were very welcoming. Fuck off, we're closed. Fuck off back to London. No, it's so quaint here. I'm checking, Jane. I'm checking to see what the weather's like. we were going to go to Italy, and some friends of ours, Steve and Mara, she's Italian, she's got Italian, you wouldn't know to speak to her, she's very, very London, very Cockney. But she's one of these people, I don't know if you know people like this, she's got Italian roots, so she feels the need to pronounce the names of places and Italian things correctly. I don't know if you've met people like that, and it's just a little bugbear of mine, because there's no need for it. So we were talking to her about going on holiday. She said, oh, well, I can recommend a lovely little place on the coast of Tuscany. Gorgeous little place called Livorno. What are you doing, Mara? Livorno. Are you having a stroke? What are you... There's no need for it. Lovely little place called Livorno. You don't get Italians going on next year for my holiday. I plan to go to England and I spend some quality time in London. Oh, fucking apples of pain. Before I head home again. Unnecessary behaviour. I thought, all right, Mara, you want to play this little pretentious game? Two can do that. I said, funny enough, when I was growing up, my dad made fantastic Italian food up in Newcastle. He made wonderful Italian. She said, oh, really? What was that, Mark? She's sensing I'm taking the piss. I said, oh, he made a wonderful spaghetti. Hoops. I don't want to be outdone, that's my point. I'm pleased we didn't go away. I am pleased. We had some bonding time at home during the... Not that sort of bonding, but, you know, during the lockdown one. It seems like so long ago. You know, I got to the point of wanting to kill Joe Wicks, but initially it was a great idea, then it was fuck off with your positive attitude. Full of life, joy and happiness. Show me how to drink alcohol at 10 in the morning, Joe. That's what I want. That's the particular exercise and lift the... Oh, no. No, it was all good. It was all fine. I didn't want to go away. I was genuinely happy. I get stressed at the airport. I start questioning shit that normal people like yourselves wouldn't question, like why there is a luggage shop in the departure lounge. Of every airport that you go to, think about this, people. There is a luggage shop in the departure lounge. It's too fucking late, isn't it? It's too late. You don't tend to see passengers staggering through passport control, arms laden with clothing in toiletries, going, well, I've forgotten something, but I don't know. What are you? Oh, luggage shop, that's handy. Oh, fuck for that. They might as well throw a photo booth in there. Passport photo? No, I've already got one, thanks. That's how I'm here. Say it, sorted. I don't need this bullshit Times cryptic crossword nonsense entering into my head. I'm panicking, I've lost a child, don't know where the passport. Say it, sorted. What the fuck are you on about? See what? What am I supposed to have seen? No one said. They just said it'll be sorted if I say I saw it, and it won't be, will it? Especially if the person I say I saw it to was the one that put it there in the first fucking place. Thank you very much for flying British Airways. On behalf of myself, Catherine, and the rest of the onboard team, I look forward to seeing you again in the very near future. Do you now, Catherine? So I followed her home. Just test the theory. Ding dong. Mark 22C. I bought the Pringles. Well, that's why I like the no-nonsense, no-bullshit airlines. I'm a fan of Lufthansa. There's no messing on the Lufthansa flight. I was lucky enough a while back to do some shows in Germany, and the highlight for me was being on Lufthansa and the stewardess coming over, do you want dinner? Do you want dinner? Do you want dinner? What are the choices? Yes or no? So being at home, enjoying all that lockdown has to offer. Tedious fucking Zoom chats with the neighbours. Well, we arranged it for next Wednesday. Do we have to? We've got nothing to say to them. How are you? How are you? Do you do this with 5 people on the Zoom thing and you just end up getting pissed, just talking shit? Where's Steve? Steve's there. Everybody point us to where's Colin. Just discussing. We had a film club which lasted couple of weeks until we can't be asked anymore. Have you seen The Crown? Have you seen The Crown? Why haven't you seen The Crown? Why haven't you seen The Crown? You must see The Crown. Oh, fuck off, I don't want to see The Crown. I mean, it's historically completely inaccurate, but it's wonderful. Queen's Gambit. Have you seen Queen's Gambit? The Undoing. Have you seen The Undoing? Have you undone the Queen's Gambit or The Crown? I have to say, the Queen's Gambit, we were transfixed. I did enjoy the Queen's Gambit. I know you probably all saw it or were told to watch it by your friends. You must see it or die. You must see the Queen's Gambit. After the Queen's Gambit, my wife became obsessed with playing chess. Did just play chess all the time. I thought, that's interesting. So a couple of days later, I suggested we watch some pornography. And, she said that's fine as long as she can choose. I thought, ooh, a bit of role play. And she chose a film called I Want to Sleep with All of My Husband's Friends, starting with Martin. We won't be doing that again. We did go out the other night in the West End of London, before this hoo-ha of what tear? Are you in a tear? I'm not in a tear. I'm tearful. We went to the West End of London. I had quite a lot to drink, something to eat, and a bit more to drink, and we were heading home in the Uber at the early hours. Are you big fans of the Uber here? Do you get the Uber? Is the Uber a big thing here? If you could all respond as if you're cattle, that would be great. Oh, got SeaWorld. Oh. Uber's a bit shit, isn't it? Uber has good intentions, but Uber teases you. Uber's a tease, isn't it? I'm 2 minutes away. I'm 1 minute away. Oh, now I'm 3 minutes away. Am I 4 minutes away? Who knows? Come check me out, honey. 7 minutes away, 9 minutes away. I'm doing a little turn for no apparent fucking reason. Now the lights have gone off. Oh. Maybe the Uber sponsors the event and they're a little bit pissed off. Fuck him. Trying to piss out of our company. We'll turn his lights off. Back in the room.
Terribly sorry. That wasn't me flashing you, Mark. That was being a bit too obvious.
Well, of all the heckles I've had, Nick, that wasn't me flashing you. It's got to be the... Tonight's sponsored by Love Honey, with some serious from flashing from Captain Santa. Woo-hoo. Jingle bells. I understand, Nick, that is the professional code to can you do another 2 hours? So yes, it's not a problem. See, the insecure part of me thinks, why is he laughing so uproariously? Clearly doesn't want me to. Yeah, so West End of London, drinking, eating to excess. Ubering home. I turned to Jane, and I said to Jane, I'm still hungry. I'm still hungry, Jane. I know it's weird. She said, you know what's weird? I said, what? She said, you standing up in an Uber. I said, are you improvising? She said, I might be. And I said, do you think they'll be up for a bit of impro? I went, probably not. But don't mention Love Honey again. I won't, I said. Good night. I said to Jane, I said, I'm still hungry. And she said, well, and I just love this. She said, with all good intention, she went, you're still hungry? Still hungry? Well, when we get home, why don't you have some cereal? Anyone had this before, this little suggestion? Why don't you have some cereal? I'll tell you why, people of the Widcombe Social Club. Why don't you have some cereal? Because I'm not 7, that's why. I'm not in the back of the Uber going, ooh, chicken chow mein or Cocoa Pops. What a choice. So we get home, I'm at the kitchen table and I'm having the Cocoa Pops. And I sense a frisson of chemistry between my wife and I that some sexual activity may take place within the next, 5 to 10 years. It's just as the alcohol-induced, ridiculous state of mind. And I give her a little cheeky wink, which I've never done before. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. An out-of-body experience. I said to Jane, are you in the mood? I don't know why these words came out of my mouth. That's what I said. Are you in the mood? That's what I think I said. In reality, it didn't come out like that at all. According to Pat and Jack. That's how it came out. Excuse me, hello. I'm in the mood. I'm over here. I want to know. 5 words, first of all. And she's looking at me with utter revulsion, disgust, contempt. What's the matter with you? I don't know. Why are you winking at me? You don't do that. It's not the way you behave. Winking at me, going, are you in the mood? Why did you do that? Turns my stomach. She said, if you must know, actually, we've been out, we've had a lovely evening, we've not talked about the children. It's been very sweet. And I sort of was in the mood. But I'm no longer in the mood. In fact, now I'm in a mood, but not the one that you require. Sweaty face, Cocoa Pops on your chin. Good night, she says, good night, and she staggers off upstairs, and seeing her leave is like seeing a train leave a station. It's a feeling of loss. Come back, come back. I'm staring up at the departure board. Next sexual disappointment, 8 weeks. No. Expect further delays. I'm sorry. Jane, I'm sorry. This pathetic, needy apologising. Last bastion of hope. We want to have sex, but it's not going to, nothing. So it's just a lot. I'm sorry. Has that ever worked in the history of courtship? I'm sorry, as if your wife partner has turned around at this point and gone, well, hold on a minute. I wasn't interested, but the sad, desperate, needy pleading. Oh. Hello, love, honey, do you do deliveries? It's like being homeless, sexually homeless. That's my comparison with that needy pleading, isn't it? It's like being sexually. I'm sorry. Can you spare a grope? Spare a grope, please. A rub, a touch, anything. Can you say some rude words, please? Anything. Can we do spoons? Just spoons. I'll cuddle you and protect you in a spoon-like environment. COVID safe. I'll put my mask on. Me love honey mask with the zips. Came back the other night, I was getting the silent treatment. We had the silent treatment, sir. Jane's terminology for this is being asleep, apparently. You came in at 3 o'clock in the morning, you staggered up the stairs, you woke me up, you went into the bathroom pissing like a horse. Oh, she accuses me of pissing on the seat as well, which upsets me. I always say it's water. It's not water, it's piss. It's water. It's water on the seat. It is piss, I can see. It's water. Is it water? Hold on a minute. Pat, Jack, can we run the VT back? Pissing on the seat, she said, I had a presentation at 8 o'clock this morning, a serious presentation, which I yawned through, as a result of which we'll probably lose the business, and I may well lose my job thanks to you and your selfish, self-centered behaviour. And I thought, Jesus, like a horse. So now what I must do, and let me leave you lovely people of this fine venue. Who knows what the future will bring. Happiness and joy. Can I just move you all to London, please? Just get on with it. If you get home, gentlemen, somewhat worse for wear, at some point in the near future, please do what I do and get into bed being sensitive and caring and not making a big fucking noise, because my wife, when she wakes up, or wake her up in the early hours of the morning, it's not a casual Hollywood waking up, as much as I wish it was, you know. I stagger into bed, there's never oh darling, I don't care what time it is, come to bed and make love with me, please. Oh, your beer breath is delightful. When Jane wakes up, she's like a furious meerkat. Fast asleep, rustle of the duvet. staring at the alarm clock, back at me, back at the alarm clock, back. What time do you call this? It's 1 o'clock. It's 4:45. Oh, you want the right time? Thank you, people. Enjoy your Christmas, your evening. You'll be delightful. Thank you very much.
Now, we'll keep these as short as possible. We'll be back with you in 10 to 15 minutes.
Joker's Wild Memories. Oh, we did about 200. It ran 1969 to 1973. It was a joy to do. And those of you who haven't seen it, it was just blatantly people, I would give them a subject that would pop up, and they had to tell a joke on that subject, and they could be interrupted by others. And, you know, we used to have a little chat beforehand. Oh, there was a great comic actor called Fred Emney, and we prepared who was going to interrupt who, I won't lie to you. And somebody was telling a joke, and suddenly I got a shock, there was a buzz. Interruption from Mr. Emney. And he said, is this joke about the seaside? And I said, yes, it is, Fred. I live at Bognor Regis. I just thought I'd mention it, and that's all. Oh, and the subject, Jack Douglas in those days, Jack Douglas and Joe Baker, double act. Jack was on, and his subject was eternity. And and Les Dawson was on at the same time. And Jack Douglas said, eternity has often been defined as waiting for Les Dawson to buy a round. Now, whether they'd set it up or not, it was the television studios in Leeds. Les stormed off the set when Jack said that. And the bar was just across the corridor from the studio. So we all filled in, waffle, waffle, telling jokes and everything. Les appeared with a tray of drinks for everybody, except Jack Douglas. Oh, Les's stories. Sorry, Nick. When Les was, I love the stories of failure is funny in our business, success isn't. We all tell stories about failure and when we bombed and it didn't work. Les said he was on the way up playing the back room of a pub, and he said he was really struggling with the jokes and whatever, and he said he paused at one point and a voice at the back said, used to be a pool table in here.
Injury, tendons can never, the reader's voice, vote Trump, and so so anyway, this his dad never used to help things, spanking him at the end of every episode, I don't think. He'd be like, I'm not enjoying this, I should take my frustrations out on water the softy. Dennis the Menace, you still see him if you get to Glasgow down the East End on Old Firm Day, you still see him hanging around the pubs with that same sweatshirt on and the urn with Nasher written on it that he's got on a lead on the set. Broken man ever since Roger the Dodger hung himself in Borrolini after that last fraud stretch. Anyway, so this kid's got a pie and chips at 2 o'clock in the morning. And the guy behind the counter, massive bloke, he looked like Harold Sakata. You must know who Harold Sakata is. Harold Sakata, wrestling champion, Hawaiian, I believe. Used to be on the world, played Odd Job in Goldfinger. I could have just said that from the outset, couldn't I? Another way of looking at it, if you're not obsessed with like early 80s British wrestling, is that the guy looked like Odd Job out of gold. When you're watching Goldfinger, and you see like Sean Connery fighting Odd Job, you don't think like that Odd Job, there's someone I'd give loads of fucking cheek to at 2 o'clock in the morning if he was serving me fish and chips. Yeah, this kid saw it differently, right? He's got his pie and chips, and he's doing like some kind of like theatrical, like sort of attention-seeking bullshit that I can't remember. There's probably a more vivid description when I first started doing this bit, but it's kind of been lost to the mists of time and all of that. But I remember him dropping his pie, and he was either pissed, coked up, whatever, baking powder that he'd paid 50 quid to some psycho Ned for and like banged up his nostrils and that sort of off me tits like it's your sinuses are blocked and your eardrums are going to explode at some point. But stands on the pie, and it was like, you know when someone stands on a beer can and they walk down the street not knowing they've done it, it's wrapped around their foot. It was like that, but with a pie. And he walks up to the counter with a pie around his foot and he goes, excuse me, goes, I've dropped my pie. Give me another one this instant. Now, the refund policies in chip shops ain't written in stone, are they? Not really. It all depends how much. He's looking over that fast food counter, it's like Travis Bickle's rear view mirror. It depends how much respect for human life you've got after a shift in a takeaway. And the guy's quite nice. He's got like, sort of like, I can't really give you a free pie because you dropped it. If you give me 80p, I'll give you another pie like we did before. This kid's going, oh, look here, my man, blah, blah, statutory rights and all that shit you see on the backs of crisp packets. And he goes, give me a pie now. And he poked him. He goes, doink. And me and Joe are like... Could you see that? He poked him. Do you see that? Would you have poked him? Would I fucking poked him? Not on your fucking Nelly. Would I have poked him? The big guy goes, he just reaches in the hot bit, you know, where they keep all the like deep fried stuff and the white pudding stuff, and he goes, I'll give you a fucking pie. And he reaches in there, he grabs a pudding, goes like, doink, doink, got his hand like that, and he just goes, the kid starts like running backwards. I thought, that's stupid, at least turn round. If you could, it's like if a train was coming, you're on the track, like, I'll outrun it, I'll run to King's Cross before the thing. Throws the pot like a cricket ball, it hit him right in the, it was like a savoury version of Bugsy Malone. You know, you goof doodle, mistakes put us in the caboose and sing in my style. And that's for the kid's like got a hot pile over his face, like, First he jumps over the can. This guy's like a neck with feet. He's like a Roger Hargreaves nightmare. He jumps over, walks up, punts the kid up the ass. He rolls out in the street, nearly gets run over by a taxi, walks back on the can, he does this, and he goes, next please. I tell you, I've never ordered chips with such meticulous fucking politeness.
But have you seen people wearing them but not right? People who just clearly have been forced into it and don't want to do it at all. I saw a bloke in my local co-op who he had a mask on, but he'd cut a hole in it for his nose. Genuinely, his nose was poking out. And he spotted me looking at him. I was like, mate, what are you doing? What? But that's not the point of it. It's meant to cover your nose and mouth. Hello, Addy. How are you doing? This is our dog, Maier and Kirsty's dog. We got a puppy for lockdown, and she's the most adorable thing in the world. She's properly cute. Like people stop their cars and crash into bus stops and things. Like, oh my god! As a bloke, having a puppy that cute is the nearest I've ever been to knowing what it's like to have a really great set of tits. Anyway, so the bloke's there with his nose out of the mask, and I'm looking at him going, look. There's no law against it. Well, you're expected to wear trousers, but not with your penis hanging out of them, you know what I mean? Look, just distract everything. I've just lost this table now to fluff and cuteness. Look at that little face. Gorgeous. And the bloke, he spotted me looking at him and he went, there's no law against it. That's not a good excuse for anything, is it? At least if you hear yourself saying, there's no law against it, you're definitely doing something wrong. You know what I mean? Like, where's the rules? You already know you're doing something wrong, otherwise you wouldn't ask. You show me where it says on your dress code that my clothes can't be hundreds of live worms glued together. We didn't feel we needed to say that. That's the thing. Laws only exist to stop us doing stuff or make us do. You know what I mean? Like every law used to not exist because we didn't think anyone would do that, and then someone did it. If you're the reason a law has started, you are a bad piece of work. You are not the best of us. You know what I mean? You used to be able to fuck your dog. Sorry, I should. Right. Let me put that right. That's not quite what I meant. It was never okay. It was never cool. But there used not to be a law against it until Martin and Rex
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Are you ready for your second act of the evening? Then please put your hands together and welcome to the stage the wonderful Angie Belcher.
Sexy middle act. How you doing, Bath? All right? It's nice to be here. As soon as I get to Bath, I feel a little bit more Bath. I feel a bit posh. I feel a bit hippie, and then suddenly I really want some lavender-scented candles and some glass beads. Does anybody know where I can get any? I like being here in Bath. It's nice. You know, they say that in London you're only ever 9 yards away from a rat, and in Bath you're only ever 9 yards away from a Reiki therapist. There's always somebody who wants to rearrange your chakras, isn't there? And I love your shops here. I was coming down the road and I saw someone and they were selling bespoke bunting. Can you imagine if you got to that party, Miranda, someone's come here, they've got tailor-made from Waitrose. I always like to keep an open mind to all that kind of stuff, you know. I mean, like when you go to festivals, God, you remember festivals. When you go to festivals and you're like, oh, the healing fields. What a load of nonsense that is. Then by day 3 you're like, well, maybe a magical frog incantation could help my sciatica. I've been doing a lot of Zoom gigs. Have you been watching a lot of Zoom gigs? I've been doing a lot of meetings on Zoom, and it's nice to be in this room and kind of feel you all here. It's really nice. Because I feel like doing Zoom gigs is a little bit like having sex with a condom on. It takes a lot to set up. Everyone's really embarrassed, and the feeling isn't quite there. You don't quite feel the same feeling, do you? So I tell you about myself. I'm a working class girl. I come from the Midlands. Yay! I know that I'm working class because my mum was a dinner lady and my dad was emotionally repressed. It's like growing up on the set of a Mike Leigh film, complete with sombre clarinets every time he moved. I live in quite a middle-class place now in Bristol. I've kind of moved up in the world. I live in quite a posh place. And I'm always intrigued about how my upbringing was so different to the kids that I see around the place where I live. It's a bit posh. Like I was in the post office queue, and there was this mum there and with her little boy who was kicking and screaming, and all I could hear was, Oberon? Usual words. Feel the feeling and use your words, because they'll do the signing now, don't they, and stuff, to the baby signing. Use your words. Are you feeling angry about something, Oberon? Talk to Mummy. Are you feeling angry? Use your words. Use your words. And all me and the rest of the post office queue were thinking was, don't talk to it, just fucking slap it. Oberon's a cock. If you want to know why he's so angry, it's because you called him Oberon. So I also have a toddler. Has anyone here, give me a cheer if you've ever lived with a toddler? Yeah. And God, it's hard work, and I'm just so glad to be here. And the reason why I found out, the reason why young children are so hard is because they haven't developed empathy. You don't develop empathy until you are 7 years old. And you don't stop developing empathy until you're in your 20s. Which is why 20-somethings are so fucking fervent, aren't they? Oh, we're going to save the world, we're going to save the Belcher. It's because you've got no life experience but loads of empathy. Whereas I'm in my 40s now, and if I can get through the day, have dinner and watch EastEnders, I'm happy. And so I thought, right, I'm living with a psychopath. So I did one of those online tests, and I wanted to share with you the fact that I did. Have you ever done those online tests? Find out, are you living with a psychopath? And it's true, I am, listen. Number 1, has a superficial charm. Fucking nice to everybody else, fucking a shithead when he's with me. And everyone's always intrigued these days. They kind of go, oh, is your toddler happy? Is your toddler happy? It's really important to know, is your toddler happy? They go, yes, he is happy, but only when he's being a cunt. Number 2, are they violent? Yes, he hits me, I have to apologise. Number 3, breaks things and doesn't apologise. Like cats, they're constantly testing gravity. Does that fall down? Yeah, it does. My house is a fucking mess. The next one, do they go silent on you? Yeah, they do go silent because he's not really talking much. I thought, oh God, is he a bit wonky? Why isn't he talking? So I took him to the speech and language therapist. If you ever want to be really patronised, go to the speech and language therapist. They said, how old is he? I said, he's 2.5. He should know 50 words by now. How many words does he know? I said, he knows 5 words. He knows no, 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 and no. So we have to go back for some more therapy, apparently. Next, gets obsessed with things. Yes, like when I thought when you took a toddler out for the day for a walk, it was all a lovely, lovely experience where you look at caterpillars and you hug trees. He just wants to play with gravel. It's like being with someone on ketamine. The 90s rave scene has really prepared me for motherhood. Number 6, stops you from seeing your friends. I haven't seen my friends in 2.5 years. They all went kayaking last week, didn't fucking invite me. So it says, this is you, and basically, yes, you were living with a psychopath, get out, and that's why I'm here tonight. So yeah, I was brought up a lot differently. My mum brought me up a lot differently. My mum's lovely, she's in her 70s now. Give me a cheer if you've ever had a mum. She's getting on a bit though, she says to me things like, your cousin Donna is having problems conceiving, so I'm going to give her some of that HIV. So, your Auntie Mary, her keeps falling over. They've found out what's wrong with her. It's got balsamic nervosa. I'm always intrigued as to how baby boomers talk to each other as well. I mean, I understand that you're just so glad to be alive, baby boomers, but I say, who are you going out with tonight, Mum? I'm going out with Fat Pat. I'm like, you can't call her Fat Pat. I said, does she mind being called Fat Pat? She went, no, she's lost 10 stone and we still call her Fat Pat. She even introduces herself on the phone like that. Who is it? It's Fat Pat. It's Fat Pat. It was when I was growing up, my mum's thing was, I don't know that you had this, was so no matter what had happened to you, because we didn't have emotions, we couldn't afford them. No matter what had happened to you, no matter what was wrong with you, there was always somebody worse off than yourself. Normally some little boy in Africa who liked all the vegetables that I didn't eat. I had no empathy. I like just put the potatoes in an envelope and send them to him. I don't care. I spent my teenage years wishing for an injury or an illness that no one could be worse off than. You know, if I cut my finger and scrape it along the pavement, hoping it'd go gangrenous and my arm would fall off. If I got a cough, I'd be like, oh, please let it be TB. It's been eradicated for 30 years. Surely no one could be worse off than that. I was even jealous of the little children on the NSPCC adverts. You know, the ones that go, this is Sarah. Sarah doesn't know where her next meal is coming from. But yeah, but look at her, she's a fucking media star. No one's worse off than her. Also, music would take a long time to get to us in the Midlands. Do you remember when it took a long time for things to get to you? We didn't just download it. Music would come from London and it would work its way slowly up the rest of the country. Completely missing out Cornwall. That's why they've still got cream teas and folk dancing. Ever been to a Cornish pub? It's like going back in time, isn't it? If you want to mess with a Cornishman's head, tell him 2 of the Beatles are dead. He won't believe you. If he says, which 2? Tell him it was Mick and Keith. I love Cornwall. They always want independence. Just chill out, paint some boats, you know. We want independence. I think we should like maybe trim them off at Plymouth, let them float off to Cuba. See how much independence they get there. And I've got a partner as well, so we co-parent, which means that I do 85% of it. So when we had our baby, he's a musician and I'm a comedian, so when we had our baby we had to decide whose career was going to continue and whose career was going to die. Thank you, patriarchy. He's played the Hollywood Bowl, I'm in Widcombe Social Club, make your own mind up. He's lovely, my partner, but he likes to talk in bed. Has anyone got a partner that likes to talk in bed? Yeah, he says to me things like, hey, baby. Hey, baby, tell me I've been a bad boy. I don't know why I give him an American accent. He's from Shepton Mallet. Tell me I've been a bad boy. I'm like, you haven't put the recycling out. Because every other Tuesday, I can't do it, I've got a bad back. Another thing he's recently started saying, and this is a thing now, I don't know if you've heard this, but he'll say to me, where do you want me to come? I don't want him to come. You know, I have enough problems working out what yogurt to get in the chiller cabinet at Tesco. It's not a decision I want to make. I'm like, you what? He's like, where do you want me to come? In a tissue in the bathroom. Out the window, just don't get it on the new Egyptian cotton duvet set. See, why do men think that we're interested in spunk? We are not we'd get all fucking horny, wouldn't we? You know what I mean? Oh, the milk's gone off. Oh, splatter me. Oh, a nail varnish in the same shade as his spunk. Oh, splatter me. You know, oh, you're crafting at home, the super glue comes out. Ah, that's dangerous, don't try that. My friends are really into crafting. They're all like, oh, Angie, I decided that for Christmas, obviously, because, you know, we've been on furlough and everything, we're going to make you a jumper. We're going to crochet you a jumper. Fuck off! Make me a fucking jumper! I don't want your shit. I know your kids might starve and everything, but I don't want that. And I was intrigued about the different stages of Christmas, because you start off, do your bathtub, you do this, you start off going, I'm not getting anything from a multinational. I'm not going on Amazon. All my gifts have been made by a small colony of lesbian nuns from the Shetland Isles. So you order that, then next week you're like, oh, my brother wants a Bluetooth headset. No, Bluetooth headset, they don't make them, the Shetland lesbians, they don't make them, so I'll get most of my presents from the lesbian nuns in the Shetland Isles, and one off Amazon. And then, you know, it comes to the 22nd of December, those fucking nuns haven't sent you any of that fucking alpaca shit you ordered. Because they're too busy praying, because they only make it for an hour a week. Fucking I'll bang it back on Amazon. Right, so that's all on the table for me. I'm getting on a bit. I suppose I'm getting on a bit. I'm 45. This was 45 last week, actually. Yeah, so things change, don't they, when you get to your 40s? For example, when I was in my 30s, I used to wear makeup to look pretty. And now I wear makeup to look human. So that I don't scare the cat. And the reason why I had a child so late in life, because they call you a geriatric mum when you're in your 40s, is because when I was in my 30s, you might get this, when you've got no children in your 30s, your mate say to you, you've got loads of time. Yeah, you've got loads of time. You have got loads and loads and loads and loads and loads of time. Loads of time. And then you hit 40 and their tune changes. You've got no time. You've got no time. Quick, freeze your eggs. Find a donor. Shag a tramp. I didn't shag a tramp, but some of the dates I had on Plenty of Fish, you know, they look like they slept in their car. I'm intrigued by dating agencies, are you? They want to know a lot of information about yourself, you know. Oh, how many countries have you visited? How many languages do you know? Are you a 2-finger girl or a 3-finger girl? Oh, that might have been the Splatter Me website I was looking at. I do worry about the amount of information I put on the internet. For example, I think, oh, what if I get burgled? Then I remember that I've got fuck all worth stealing, you know, so I'm going out for the night. What if people come around and burgle me? I've got nothing worth stealing. And I know this because years ago I had to do an insurance audit, and that's where you add up all the things that you have of value in your house, technology-wise. If you do get burgled, you can prove that you had them. My then boyfriend had $4,000 worth of stuff, you know, decks and things that went ping. The grand total of my technology bill came to £39.42. I'm not going to tell you what those two things are, but if I did get burgled tonight, I'm going to spend the rest of the week with really curly hair. Oh my God, will I be frustrated about it? I'm trying to get more into technology and stuff, but I'm a bit rubbish, you know what I mean? I hate to think, I don't think it is like a laptop. I see it as my dad in a box. It's constantly telling me off. You've just taken out your memory stick without properly shutting it down. You've just opened a new tab. I just don't know why they didn't have a dialogue box that just says, you obviously can't be trusted with nice things. So before I had this baby 2.5 years ago, I thought I'm going to do a bucket list of everything I've ever wanted to achieve, yeah? Before I have to settle down, become a mum, wear Bowden. And one of the things I've never done is, I've never taken a Class A drug. Give me a cheer if you had a Class A drug bath. So I thought, I'm gonna have me some drugs. So I went to a party and somebody offered me some speed. It's like, marvellous, I'd love to try this, thank you. It's like they're offering me a cucumber sandwich. You're not supposed to accept drugs like that. You're probably supposed to go, yes, safe, do this all the time. So I took this speed. And 10 minutes later, I had this sudden realisation. It wasn't that I suddenly understood the world. It wasn't that I wanted to go dancing to shit music till 3 in the morning. I just thought, I could go home and get so much done. I hadn't done the washing up, it was recycling day the next day. You see, you don't need drugs when you're 17, you need them when you're 42. When I was 17, I could go out dancing on a Friday night, sink 12 pints of Banks's Bitter, 10 tequila slammers, go back to some random stranger's house, drink their granddad's whiskey. You know what? I could still get up at 7 o'clock on a Saturday morning to go shopping for scrunchies in Woolworths. Drug dealers shouldn't hang around schools. They should go to nice middle-class housing estates like Widcombe, where there's busy women who've got a full-time job, 3 kids to look after and a book club to organise. All right, darling. Have you got the in-laws coming for the weekend? And haven't done the hoovering? Sprinkle a bit of that on your quinoa salad. I'm not going to get into drugs too much though, because my God, they're expensive, aren't they? They're more per pound than pine nuts. You know it, Bab. Why are they so expensive, pine nuts? I went to my local organic deli the other day. I went, do you have any other pine nuts? He went, what do you mean, other? I went, just cheaper. Just cheaper. Someone else who has to take a lot of drugs is my mum. She's got one of those diseases. You know, every year there's a new disease. She's got that dementia. That's it, dementia. I've got that dementia. Somebody said to me the other day, we were talking about memory and losing our memory and stuff. And I said, when does your memory come back when you're a mom? And somebody said, when you're about 72 for 5 minutes, and then you get the dementia. And you forget you've even had kids. Anyway, you've got, you know, when it first came on, I said to the doctors, I said, what can I do to keep her brain going? And she says, just talk to her, just keep talking to her. And if anyone here has got friends or family that have got dementia, it's about just keeping them involved. And he went, just keep talking to her. So I ring her up every morning and I go, Mum, do you remember what you had for breakfast this morning? And every time she'd go, no, Angie, I can't remember what I had for breakfast. And it breaks my heart. And I always say to her, well, there's always somebody worse off than yourself. Auntie Mary's got balsamic nervosa. Deal with it. You've been lovely. Thank you ever so much for listening to me and letting me be your lovely middle act. You're going to really enjoy your headline act. So have a lovely time back. Do follow me on Facebook and Twitter. Don't bother on LinkedIn. It's fucking boring. Ta-ra. I've been Angie Belcher.
Angie Belcher. Now you know the score. We'll keep it as quick as possible. We'll see you back in 10 minutes.
Although, we should start on a serious note, given the grave news from across the pond today. I think I speak for all of us when I say that our thoughts and prayers and our hopes are very much with the coronavirus. Please, just kill that horrid fucker. I don't mind if it's peaceful, quick, in his sleep. I don't mind. Just kill that horrid fucking thunder cunt. Kill him! So I think I might have put my politics out there quite early on. Hands up if you disagree. Didn't think so. Okay. Flotus is an interesting word, isn't it? Have you been seeing this in his tweet? Well, all the tweets. And the fact that it has to be in capital letters, which is his norm anyway, but... Because you know what Flotus stands for? First Lady of the United States, right? One vowel away from being flatus or flatus, which is, I think, one of the symptoms of coronavirus. It's wind. It's gaseous matter. That's flatus. Flotus, flatus, and the weird thing is he's called fucking Trump. So it's President Flatus and his Flotus. What somebody once overheard me, they thought, did you just say that Americans have an iron deficiency? And I said, no, they have an irony deficiency. Anyway, enough of the low-hanging fruit. It is nice to be here. And I do apologise for the very early use of the C word. It may or may not come back up again if I talk about that cunt Trump again.
Yeah, and they say you should never ask a lady her age, don't they? Well, you can ask me. That's fine. I'm 50. Thank you. 4. But thanks. You can't believe it, can you? Can't believe I'm not a lady. Being a lady's overrated, though, isn't it? A lady doesn't talk too much, doesn't eat too much, never wears horizontal stripes. I try to be a lady. I try to be a lady. If I'm wearing my face mask and I burp, I say, excuse me. If I'm on Zoom, I mute myself before I fart. I am a lady, really. They say age is only a number, don't they? You're only as old as you feel. I feel 54. I do. I'm coming to terms with the fact that I'll never present Country File. And if I ever achieve my comedy dreams, I'll probably end up dancing with Anton Dubek, won't I? And nobody wants that. When I was 20, I look back and I think, when I was 20, I hated my face and I hated my body. And I look back now and I think, isn't that just the most awful waste of a young woman's energy, isn't it? Especially because now I look in the mirror and all I see is fabulous. Thank you. Thank you. We were all thinking it. When I was 30, I'd look in the mirror and think, oh, a tan. And now, kid you not, thank you, lights, I have sun damage in the shape of cheekbones. Thank you very much. Saving a fortune on blusher. Hashtag winning. I'm too old to say hashtag winning. Still, at least I'm not like a man, eh? Sorry. But come on, you know what men are like. Men get to my age, they have a midlife crisis, don't they? Yeah, they buy a motorbike, go to Glastonbury, start flirting with 20-year-old women. I mean, it's embarrassing. If you ask me, that is just a sad, pathetic search for attention. At least I'm not like that. So I've taken up stand-up comedy. I was booked to perform at a comedy gig, and the guy who was running it made a Facebook page for the event, and I had a look at the page and the list of comedians that were performing, and my name wasn't on there. And I knew why, I knew immediately why. You know, because we've all read the articles, haven't we? Women over 50 are invisible. Oh yeah, just because I'm no longer in the running to be Britain's next top model, apparently you can't see me. It's fine, you're allowed to laugh at that, that's fine. No, honestly, I never aspired to being a model. I could never commit to putting on that much height. But I got that comedy promoter guy and I called him out on it. I phoned him up and I said, "You sexist, ageist bastard." I did. I said, "You've left me off that list." And he said, "I think you're looking at last month's event." Not this month's event. Oh, the irony. I'm not having periods anymore. I don't know what month it is. Give me a cheer for the menopause. Don't. No, don't. God, it's shit. It's awful. I'm all over the place. I'm forgetful. I'm irritable. I repeat myself constantly. Coming to terms with the fact that I'll never present Country File.
Hello, everybody. Good. Nice to be here. Now, we've just established this has been sanitised. Has this been sanitised as well? Yeah, look, you couldn't give a fuck, could you? Yeah, come on, hurry up with it. I'll do that with it. There we are. I'm not doing nothing, mate. Taking no risks. I mean, arguably, this is a risk. That's heavier than I was expecting, and I'm having issues. Oh, no, I'm doing my best. I'm doing my thing. Have any other men been having a wee in a public toilet, any kind of toilet in a bar, and then looking at the sink and thinking, there's probably more corona on that than on my genitals? Like it's a risk. I tried to make that about men rather than ladies because I didn't want to give the impression that I think women have genitals. That will not fly in Bath. Lovely to be here at that plug for some reason. And these are clearly, this is section, they're supposed to be butts, are they? Is that the design? It's like it's a heart, but it's also a butt. No? Well, it was worth it to see the look on your face going, is it a butt? Do you know what that's been designed? It's about sexual happiness, right? It's like a heart, but it also looks a bit like a... Are you not getting that? Is this like a Rorschach thing? That I'm looking at the blot testing, it's butts, isn't it? That one's two dogs fucking, and that one's me killing my dad with a shovel. Surely you can see that, people, no? Come again?
Ruined it for me now.
I've ruined what for you? Is the implication there that you were cracking one off at the back of the room? I'm trying to you're making this wank very difficult, Stuart. I'm sorry, I can only apologise.
Wave now or very humbly, please. I've known this fella for 20 years and he doesn't come here often enough. Please give it up for the wonderful Jared Christmas.
Thank you. Yes. Holy shit. Oh, it's good to be out. Wow. Fucking 2020. Someone licked out a bat and here we are. This is what happens, hey? Don't quote me on that. Don't quote me on that. I don't know if a bloke licked out a bat. It could have been a woman. I don't know. Depends what you're into. I don't even know if that's why it happened. But someone mentioned a bat, and I thought, fuck it, I'm running with that theory. Why the fuck not? There's other people out there with ridiculous theories. I don't have a weird boob. That's my little mask, my little slot for my... Oh, they stink after a bit, don't they? Yeah. Oh, you're meant to wash your mask, and we're like, fuck that. You're lucky we're even fucking wearing them, mate. Bloody so forgetful about it. Not out of any strong opinion about wearing masks. I'm just fucking forgetting it. I've got about 8 masks lying around the house. I've had to build mask strategy into my life. I've got 2 masks in the car. I've got fucking trousers that I don't even take the mask out of the pockets when I chuck them in the fucking wash. So, you know, walking into a shop and pulling out a still damp mask, I go, oh well, I'll just fucking get some sort of lung condition. Anyway, I'm just saying it's bloody great, and I've enjoyed none of this year, and I fucking have. Holy shit! First lockdown, the original OG lockdown. Oh. The halcyon days of fucking homeschooling. Holy shit, I think I'm scarred more from that than the fact that my second cousin died of COVID. I fucking failed on homeschooling so massively, right? I mean, I love my wife, and I've never been so thankful to be with her than I was during that fucking homeschooling period, because she was absolutely nailing it. What I learnt in homeschooling, right? I've got a 10-year-old daughter and an 8-year-old daughter. What I learnt is that I cannot do long division, and I'm also not shit hot at short division, and I'm not even confident whether medium division is a thing or not. What homeschooling turned into was my 10-year-old homeschooling me, and she was not a nice teacher. At one point, she called me an imbecile. I didn't know what it was. I had to Google it. Felt like such an idiot. It was tough times, man. At least teachers, they have a room they can go into to slag the kids off. I had to slag my kids off to their face. And it is tough explaining to an 8-year-old what dickhead means. I mean, it was exciting times. It was a fucking emotional roller coaster, right? My mood was swinging like a drunk bloke in a fight in a chip shop. It was all over the place, man. It was a roller coaster ride of emotions. We ran out of fish fingers. We ran out of fucking fish right in the depth of hardcore lockdown. Don't leave your house. You can have an hour to exercise, but other than that, stay in your fucking house. And we were out of fish fingers. Oh my God, the way my children reacted, it was like they'd run out of breathable oxygen. It was fucking meltdown central. And I remember turning to my wife and looking in her eye and just saying, I'm going out there. And I thought, this must have been what it was like. You know, way back in the day, hunter-gatherer days, where there's fucking saber-toothed tigers lurking around the corner. And you're like, I've got to go out and get some nuts and berries. I'm going to fucking do it or my family's going to die. I'm going to face that danger. And I was like strapping on my mask, putting on fucking gloves, anti-backing my entire body. And I went out there, man. We ran out of fish fingers. So I went to the supermarket just to get fish fingers. And I was driving there thinking, is this classed as essential travel? And then I realised, like, every parent in here will know that you'll do whatever it takes to avoid a fucking meltdown from your children. That will be classed as, thank you, they'll be classed as essential travel. Someone was like, I'm going to ring a bell on that, man. Avoid the fucking melt. Hear ye, hear ye. Essential travel is allowed to avoid a child's meltdown. I would drive to Durham to avoid a meltdown from my children. And I would make up a fucking lie about it. So I rock up to the supermarket, I queue up outside for 45 minutes. I mean, I could have got in quicker. I was tempted to lie and say I was with the NHS. But I held back. 45 minutes I queued up to get into that supermarket. And as I was walking in there, I thought, oh shit, I don't want to be the guy who's gone through all of this just to buy fish fingers. So I did a panic shop. No preparation, no list whatsoever. I bought shit I've never bought in my fucking life. Refried beans. I bought refried beans. By the way, they're fucking incredible. But you open that can and you're like, I don't think we should be eating this. I don't know what it fucking is. It's incredible, refried beans. I bought cinnamon. I've never bought cinnamon in my life. But I fucking bought cinnamon. And get this, I bought decaf Earl Grey tea. Who the fuck is drinking decaf Earl Grey tea? This guy. Is anybody else in here drunk decaf Earl Grey tea? It is the single most pointless fucking cup of tea you will ever have in your life. Completely pointless. You're drinking fucking perfume. Oh, I just want my mouth to be floral. Fucking bullshit, right? So I've done this panic shop and I get to the frozen food section and there's no fish fingers. And I said out loud, what the fuck? Like, was there panic buying on toilet rolls and fish fingers? Was that why everybody was panic buying? Toilet rolls, fucking pasta, but not the sauce, and fish fingers. Like, I'm sorry, but a lot of people are fucking idiots. Like, if you're panic buying pasta, you should be panic buying the sauce as well. You can't tell me that everyone panic buying fucking pasta is at home making fresh sauce from fucking freshly picked cherry tomatoes. No fucking chance. They are chucking tomato sauce on that pasta and just fucking living with it. I went to 3 supermarkets that day. 3 supermarkets, panic shopped in every single fucking one until I eventually found fish fingers. I've got shitloads of cinnamon. Shitloads of cinnamon. So if it turns out cinnamon helps cure COVID, I'm your fucking guy. Until then, I'm just adding cinnamon to every single meal I cook at home, just to make everything I cook just taste a little bit Christmassy. Fucking fish fingers, man. And my wife uses fish fingers as code as well, right? Because I've been with my wife for 18 years, and I think when you're in a relationship that long, you're meant to be able to read each other's moods, right? You don't want to. My wife doesn't want to straight up tell me that she's angry. She wants to drop clues, right? She wants to, just to keep it interesting, keep me on my toes. She's like, I'm just going to give you subtle fucking hints about how I'm feeling. And fish fingers is one of her favourite ones. Because what she'll do, if she's cooked fish fingers, I know she's pissed off with me when she just gives me the middle finger. So, tried to eat healthy during lockdown. It did not work. But I gave myself a mission. I was like, I'm going to get my kids to eat more vegetables. I started off, I thought I'm going to start off easy with one of my favourite veggies, asparagus. Fucking love a bit of asparagus. So I bought shitloads of asparagus one day, and this is very early on in the year. Oh my God, it feels like fucking decades ago. But it was literally April. And I bought shitloads of asparagus, and I cooked it up real good. I blanched it a little bit, and then I chucked it in the oven with a little bit of garlic and chili. Right? Fucking delicious. Fucking bring it on. Some mouth-watering already. Your beard's looking sticky from the water pouring out of your mouth. But they were having none of it. The kids weren't interested in asparagus in the slightest, and I thought, I'm not wasting this fucking asparagus. So I ate shitloads of asparagus that night. I was bunching it all up into a big bunch of spears and just deep throating the fucking thing. Fuck. Ate so much asparagus that night, and because it was lockdown, I got really drunk. And it was about 3 o'clock in the morning. I got up for a wee, and I was so drunk I completely forgot about all the asparagus I'd eaten. And boy Jesus, did that wee stink. The asparagus wee, the smell hit me like a fucking freight train. And did you know this? That some people cannot smell asparagus and wee. You're nodding your head. Can you smell asparagus and wee? Your friend can't. 1/3 of people. I know there's some absolute fucking freaks out there, right? And it's a genetic thing. They're genetically predisposed to not be able to smell asparagus and wee, you fucking weirdos. That means you could eat heaps of asparagus, go for a wee and be like, oh my God, that really stinks, and someone else is like, I can't smell a thing. And you're like, what the fuck are you doing in my bathroom? So I've gone for this wee, and the smell is just... But I'm so pissed I've forgotten that I actually ate asparagus, and I went straight to panic stations, and I suddenly thought, is smelly wee a symptom of coronavirus? I ran into my room, 3 o'clock in the morning, woke my wife up and said to her, I think I've got the vids. I think I've got coronavirus. And she was awake straight away, right? Light on, interrogating me, asking me all the right questions. Have you got a persistent cough? No. Do you have a high temperature? No. Do you have tightness in your chest? No. What are your symptoms? My wee is really smelly. And I've been with my wife for 18 years, and what she said next, I have never heard her use this exact combination of words. I've never heard her use that exact combination of words at that anger level. I've certainly not heard her use that combination of words at that anger level at 3 o'clock in the morning as she shouted into my face, "We had asparagus for dinner tonight, you fucking idiot!" And then from my daughter's room, I heard her shout out, "Imbecile!" It's been bloody rough, everybody. It's been rough. And on top of all of that nonsense, the government told us people in the entertainment industry that we have to retrain. Yeah? Oh, yeah. Theatres and all that are closed. Why don't you retrain? So I took that advice on board. I rung up my local job centre. you know, and I said to them, I need to retrain, I need to get another job. And the guy said to me, well, what can you do? What else can you do? Are you good with your hands? And I said, yes, very good with my hands. So I'm delighted to tell you all, I picked up another job. I have been wanking off blokes in Trowbridge, and business has been busy. I wear a mask, full mask. That's mainly an identity thing. Anti-bac as well, it's a great lube. And also numbs things, which unfortunately for me means takes a bit longer. And I always ask for a small deposit at the end. I'm just saying, thank you. I'm just saying, this gig needs to finish on time because I've got an appointment in Trowbridge. But you know, a lot of people, what I like about the United Kingdom is you're all pretty laissez-faire. Is laissez-faire? No, that's French. You're absolutely right. You couldn't give a shit about drinking problems. And, you know, something that you hear all the time about lockdown is, oh, I drunk a lot during lockdown. And everyone's really fucking happy about that, right? It's brilliant because other countries in the world are like, there's a real drinking problem at the moment. But the UK's like, we are dealing with shit. And I was on that fucking train. Absolutely. Well, woo woo, yes. Hello, choo-choo vodka. My drink of choice for a long time, for about 2 months, and actually I fucking love it a lot, is Baileys. Oh my God, I am such a fan of Baileys, big fan of Baileys. Big fucking fan. And I don't know why more adults don't drink it. It is an adult milkshake. Why aren't we all fucking chugging a litre of that shit at a time, right? It is amazing. I tell you what I don't like about Baileys, the fucking judgment, mate. The judgment. As soon as I said I love Baileys, there were blokes in this room going, not if you come out drinking with me, mate. Where is this judgment fucking coming from, right? This time of year is fine. You could drink a pint of Baileys this time of year and everyone's like, oh, he's getting into the Christmas spirit. And I'm like, fuck yeah, I've been in the Christmas spirit since June. But good luck going out to the pub whenever we can do that again. Going out to the pub with your mates, yeah, and someone's getting a round in, and they're like, yeah, I'll get a round in. What are you having, mate? What are you having? Lager? Yeah. What are you having? Lager? Yeah. What are you having? Baileys? Fuck off, mate. You're not hanging out with us anymore. I love Baileys. I love drinking Baileys at home because then I'm in charge of how much I fucking have. Oh, I don't even put ice in the fucker. No way, because that's just less liquid in the glass, right? Keep your Baileys in the fucking fridge, you don't need ice. I fill it right to the brim of that glass, so I have to bend down to the table to sip from it before I can pick it up. Like one of those toys of the birds that test water. Like that sort of, I don't know what they're called. Anyway, I fucking love it! Now, I need to digress a little here. On a side note, I have actually been trying to lose weight during lockdown. I've been doing that app called MyFitnessPal, right, where it's a calorie counting thing. And I've been trying to limit myself to 1,500 calories a day. Now, normal blokes intake 2,500, so whoa, chopping 1,000 off there, I fucking feel it, right? Now, I don't want to show off. I don't want to blow smoke up my own ass, all right? I can, because I've built some sort of tube system. And it's not smoke, it's vape. I vape into my own arse, all right? I think we need to update that language, right? Because smoking's unhealthy. So we need to change that phrase to, I don't want to blow vape up your ass. Which sounds, you know, I don't want to vape your ass, which sounds like something that would happen in Dracula's prison. But anyway, last Wednesday, I did all three meals. Get to the evening, I've only done 800 calories. I know, not all heroes wear capes. So I was so proud of myself, and I said to my wife about it, and I said, I've got to celebrate this. I have to reward myself for the hard work and dedication I've shown on this very day. Mark it down on the calendar so we can celebrate this fucking to 800 calories. And I celebrated with a full glass of Baileys. I filled that glass right to the fucking brim, and I downed the bastard, and it felt good, and all the time I'm thinking, I deserve this! And then my wife went and fucking ruined it. by saying to me, you need to count the calories in that. You need to include that on your MyFitnessPal. And I said, no, I don't. It's a liquid. I learned two things that night. I learned that you have to include liquids when you're calorie counting. I also learned that one measure of Baileys is 400 calories. Yeah. And that glass of Baileys I had was 5 measures, 2,000 calories in one fucking drink, man. Oh, I was gutted. I was so devastated. All that hard work, man. I was like, oh, I can't keep living like this. Something has to change. So I deleted the app. Just live your lives, everybody. Live your lives. And I've been drinking wine too. I've been drinking wine. Can I, you're on the wine, aren't you? You're on the wine. Can I recommend Canadian wine? This is my discovery of 2020. Canadian wine. Canada's got a great wine industry. And the Canadian wine industry has taken a real boost recently because America's relaxed its import policies towards Canadian wine. So now Canadian wine is flowing freely into the United States of America. So what's happening now is Mexicans are disguising themselves as bottles of Canadian wine to get into the United States of America. And they've got a name for it. They're calling it an illegal Bordeaux crossing. You're fucking welcome, Bar. You're absolutely welcome. You all went silent like it was a fucking TED talk on Canadian wine. Then I slipped that little bastard in at the end. Oh my God. Good times, guys. Good times. Oh. It's been a time of reflection, though, hasn't it? You know, a lot of time on my hands. Thinking about a lot of things. You know, something else that's going to stick with me from 2020 is all the fucking conspiracy theorists. Holy shit, that has been bonkers, hasn't it? It's hilarious, slightly scary, but fucking bonkers, right? I've got this one mate who has gone well and truly conspiracy theory fucking nut job. And I've come to the conclusion that these hardcore conspiracy theorist people, and there's a lot of them out there, you probably know some, they're the type of person that will go to bed at night with an itchy asshole, wake up in the morning and blame a government cover-up, Bill Gates and 5G for having a smelly finger. And then if you dare to say to them, is your asshole itchy? They'll say, that's 5G. 5G's done that. And it's like, no, it's because you've been fingering your QAnon all night. But this sort of thing's been around all the time, hasn't it? It's just in a new fucking disguise. I remember years ago when I was back in New Zealand in my teenage years, when I was about 18, a really good friend of mine turned into a hardcore fucking evangelical Christian. Like hardcore evangelical Christian. And New Zealand evangelical Christians a lot different from the American evangelical Christians, especially the preachers, right? Because the American evangelical preachers, they're all like, the Lord has spoken to me, and the Lord has said that you, my followers, you must raise your hands to the heaven. Get your hand close to your blessed Lord. And then you take that very blessed hand, and you put it deep down inside your pocket, and you pull out all of your money, and you give it unto me, for the Lord has said, I need a private plane. Whereas New Zealand evangelical preachers are a bit more sort of like, oh yeah, so g'day guys. God, he said some shit to me, eh? And basically, you guys need to give me some money, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh, P.S. Bad weather's caused by the gays. Okay. And it's hard to be friends with people who've got that fucking attitude, right? So I think this whole conspiracy theory bullshit it's been around all the time. It's just in a new fucking dress right now. Because I've got a phone that picks up 5G, and it is fucking great. It's brilliant. Crystal clear signal, but my arsehole is itchy. So I don't know if that's linked. I don't know if it's linked. I don't know if there's a correlation there. Something else I've decided to do through lockdown number 2 is not wash. So I don't know. Maybe it is 5G. I'm not sure. But I have been reflecting upon life, upon shit that I got up to in the past, and especially because my oldest daughter is starting to get into the performing arts. Sorry, I've said that wrong. My oldest daughter is getting into the performing arts! And you know, obviously I've done a bit of performing arts in my time. I remember the first professional play that I got into when I was 18 years old in Christchurch, New Zealand, at the Court Theatre. I was in a professional production of The Diary of Anne Frank. Thank you. I was not Anne Frank. I auditioned for that role, but I did not get it. And, you know, I thought I did a really good fucking audition. You know, I went in there and I hid and they didn't find me. But I got into The Diary of Anne Frank and genuinely I played the part of a German soldier. And I had 2 lines, not even lines, just words. I had schnell and weg. Does anybody speak German? Because I know as an actor I should have researched what those words mean, and I didn't fucking know. I think schnell means now and weg means go. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Sure? Or is there one German person here going, nein? And I'm like,
Schnell means fast.
Hold on, schnell means fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, quick. Wait, do you want me to hurry up, or are you agreeing that's not... It's so confusing. So confusing. So those were my lines. I essentially had to burst into the house and go, schnell, back! Right? So excited. My first professional job. And look, I grew up in a military family. My dad was in the New Zealand Army. It was just him. Until he retired, and then my older brother joined. You know, it's a one in, one out policy down there. You know, I grew up in military bases, and then I turned to the performing arts. And my dad is a real no-nonsense fucking bloke, right? He's got army tattoos all over his arms, and he's just like, he fucking says it how it bloody is, you know? He doesn't fuck around. One of his favourite sayings in restaurants, if we were getting bad service, is he'd call over the waiter and he'd go, "Excuse me, can I talk to Kermit, please?" And the waiter would go, "Kermit doesn't work here." And then my dad would go, "Well, who's running this Muppet show?" You're like, no nonsense, fucking say it how it is, right? And so opening night of The Diary of Anne Frank, my dad is there, 399 other New Zealanders are there, packed into this audience. It's my first big moment, right? And I'm standing backstage, and I was really nervous, and I hear my cue line, I've only got a couple, I've got schnell, weg, right? And I walk on stage, and I froze. Just absolutely froze up. My 2 German words fucking disappeared. And I was standing on stage, 400 New Zealanders staring at me, just absolutely fucking quiet. And when you go to the theatre and there's silence on stage, it can be powerful if it's meant to fucking happen, right? But everybody picks up when it's not meant to fucking happen, right? So I walk on, and I walk on with energy, like march on, and then there's nothing. So everyone's like, "Oh, he's fucked up." And my dad realised he needed to step in and help his son. So into that silence, my dad shouted out, "She's upstairs, mate." I mean, that is a fucking spoiler alert straight away there, isn't it? And also, not long after that professional debut, that was my opening night and my closing night. After that, like all of New Zealand, I auditioned to be in Lord of the Rings. And I was the only New Zealander not to get in the fucking thing. And that's arguably why I moved to the United Kingdom, right? Is because I remember one day stepping out of my house and there was just no one around. And I was like, "Where is everyone?" And I heard a voice shout out, "We're all on the set of Lord of the Rings, dickhead! What are you doing?" I was like, "Oh, the shame, I've got to fucking leave." So I moved over here, and you know, that scar of not getting in Lord of the Rings was still with me. So imagine my delight when I get told by my agent at the time that I had an audition to be in The Hobbit. And I was like, fuck yes, they will not deny me twice. This shit is happening. I am meant to be in one of these fucking films. This is gonna happen. And I was told it could be any accent, so I skipped up to that fucking audition, and I was auditioning to be one of the dwarves, right? And I had this powerful fucking speech about battle and all that sort of shit. And I went in there and I fucking nailed it. Absolutely nailed it. Vaping straight into my anus. I absolutely nailed it. And after the audition, the guy, the casting director, said to me, "Hey, that was great. Strong Kiwi accent there." And I was like, yeah, I'm from New Zealand. I was told it could be any accent. And he said, yeah, any British accent. So do it again, but this time with a British accent. Okay, and action. He didn't even give me a chance to say to him that I cannot do any British accents. But I was in the room and I was like, fuck it, I will not be denied twice. So I gave it a fucking go. And I started West Country. And then I went Welsh. And I'm pretty confident I ended on Cockney. Because that audition went like this. I wonder why he went back in. Bilbo, I mean. What chance has he got against a dragon? And then my final line was, a lot of people are gonna die. Needless to say, I did not get the part because they were not after an accent schizophrenic dwarf. But I think what I have proved is that I can nail any UK accent. You shout out a UK accent, I'll fucking nail it! Geordie! Why, kut. Fuck yes, nailed it! It's like we're up there. Next accent, please. Manchester. Sorted. Nailed it. Next accent, please. Bristol. Nailed it. Next accent, please.
No, Bristol's wrong.
Fuck you, it's right. Next accent, please. Yorkshire. Here we go, Yorkshire. I can do Yorkshire. Here we go. Nailed it! Next accent, please. What? Cornwall. Oh, it's very similar to Bristol. Bristol's R, Cornwall's R. Nailed it! Next one, please. Wales. Who? Are you running there? You know my favourite thing about Wales is they have footpaths that on sat-nav are roads. It's always enjoyable driving through Wales, driving somewhere you can't pronounce, and the road's getting more and more narrow, and you're going, is this still a road? And then next thing you're in someone's living room. But they're Welsh. Welsh people love a visitor. They're like, oh, hello, would you like a Welsh cake? Yeah, I'd love to eat one of the driest things on the fucking planet. Yeah, that's right, Wales, if there's any Welsh people in, we've rumbled you, your Welsh cakes are fucking dry. And Welsh people get defensive, don't they? They're like, oh, Welsh cakes aren't dry, we put raisins in them. Yeah, well done, Wales. What's a raisin? It's a dried up fucking grape. But it was a normal grape when you first put the bastard in there. And that's why Welsh people speak like they do. They've got no saliva left from their dry Welsh cakes. They sound like a cat coughing up a fucking Welsh cake. Nailed it. Next accent, please. Who?
Radstock.
Say it again.
Radstock.
Radstock. Fucking making places up now, are we? Is that what's going on? Are we just making a fucking pretend place? How do you get to Radstock, mate? Through a fucking wardrobe? Yeah? Who's in charge? A massive lion? Fucking Radstock. Next accent, please. Birmingham. Fuck yes! Next accent. Scouser. Sorry, I've got a fax coming through. I know why Scousers do that. Why they've got the little... I know why they do that. They're bringing up phlegm to spit at Manchester. But it all just lands on Warrington. Next accent. Scotland. I'll do a run-up because that's how they do it. All right now, pal. When I say pal, I don't fucking mean it. I think I can do a pretty good Scottish accent because I've got Scottish ancestry. I found out because I did a TV show like Who Do You Think You Are? But it was the Scottish version, which is called Who the Fuck Are You? So... pretty much cleared up the mystery of whether I can do any of your accents right there. Australian, not the UK, mate. Good try, though. Good try. Suffolk. I can do Suffolk. Here we go. I can do Suffolk. I've just converted my barn. Thank you so much for coming out, everybody. This has been an absolute fucking treat. All three of us who have been on tonight have not had the chance to do a live show since fucking August. So, holy shit, when this was offered, I've been here since yesterday. Just wandered, pacing around. When am I going to get here? And, you know, Nick, who's organised the gig, was like, mate, the gig's tomorrow. And I'm like, fuck it, let's just do it now. Let's just do it now, come on! And I gave it a go. You guys weren't here, so... It's a different atmosphere, to be honest. Especially when I was like, oh, shout out an accent. That bit did not go down well. But genuinely, thank you so much. Stay safe out there. I've been Jared Christmas. Thank you very much. Good night.
Who, strangely enough, Google says lives 8.8 miles from Radstock.
I just don't know how they fucking sound.
They sound just like all your other accents. I've got the mic now, mate. You can't hear. Never engaged. How wonderful was that, everyone? Isn't it lovely to be back? Point of order. Stay safe when you leave, and leave just separately so we don't get done. Because you're all nice and safe now, so don't all just pack in on the way down the stairs. That's the boring bit out of the way. We've got loads of other stuff coming up. I think, what we got? Tomorrow and Sunday, we've got Christmas market. This is going to be transformed in here and downstairs. About 20 odd stalls of, it used to be Widcombe Craft Fair, it's now called the Christmas market. Lots of good things to see there. And there's a one-way system all planned around the building, and cafe with cake and coffees and stuff. And then we've got another film. We've got Hells Are Popping on the 19th, Saturday the 19th. On that, look at that screen, it's huge. It's not the right size for Hells Are Popping because it's an old film, but wonderful Lindy Hop dancing. We have a VIP in the room, Anita here, dance with Whitey's Lindy Hoppers, apparently. And fantastic. So she's going to do a preview before the film. No, she's not. And the day before that, the 18th, Friday the 18th, we're going to have a Friday night social. We haven't been able to do them because we're not allowed to serve alcohol without, but we can do it if there's a performance. So we're going to extend the music downstairs. We're going to have tea and biscuits. That's not a substantial meal. That is actually the name of the duo, the finger-picking duo. They're wonderful. And they'll play from 6 o'clock. And then we've got Zach Ware, wonderful Zach Ware. Charlie Ware, do you know Charlie Ware, the Morris Minor man? His son, but he also plays with the Proclaimers, and he's a wonderful guitarist. He can play anything. And he puts a menu on your table, about 300 songs. You can pick out what you want, and he'll play it. And he'll throw in loads of solos, like Jimmy Page and Hendrix and all sorts. He's wonderful. And we're charging for that. The wonderful thing about being on a committee is we haven't decided what we're going to charge for it. It was £2.50, it was £3, and it's £6, it's £5. I don't know what you put out on the live stream, Eddie, but it's wrong. But now it's £3 for members and £6 if you're oink. So that'll be full before you know it. So it's not on sale yet. Committees. Never form a committee, ever. Yes, thank you, Ralph. It was the best advice I ever got from Mr. Ralph Oswick in the corner there. He said, for fuck's sake, don't join a committee. And the Stage newspaper wrote, for goodness sake, because it was in print and it had no balls. Anyway, that's Friday, next Saturday. Then it's Christmas. Merry fucking Christmas! It's supposed to be a catchphrase, I'm supposed to say it back. Merry fucking Christmas! Well, thank you very much. And then we're back in January, assuming we don't get tiered off higher or something. I haven't put the January Comedy Club on sale yet, but January the 8th should be the Scottish Falsetto Sock Puppet Theatre, Janine Harouni, wonderful, and Archie Maddox. Great lineup there. They're all great lineups. Don't be surprised. I'm not surprised. I book them. That's what I do. They're wonderful. I'm not going to run out of comedians. We're going to do it every 2 weeks. We're going to keep going. And I'll form some semblance of a festival when it gets to Easter. But loads more great stuff here. Keep your eyes on the website and the social media. For now, let's have another round of applause for the acts team tonight. We saw Mr. Maier, Angie Belcher, and the one Jared Christmas.